The flower in the dream falls into death. Chapter 1 3 Days of Withdrawal and the Twist of Fate. Xiao Yuqing is a hot female star in the entertainment industry, but she chose to quit the circle at the peak of her career and marry a man outside the circle. On the third day of marriage, fate cruelly snatched her away from the world. A sudden car accident put her in a vegetative state for 6 years. Her body slept, but consciousness did not dissipate. In the dream, she incarnates the unfortunate female partner in a sweet pet novel, the eponymous Xiao Yuqing. She is the heroine's control group, a victim of a commercial marriage, and falls into the quagmire of calculation and failure. Chapter 2, The Interweaving of Dreams and Reality. In the dream, the supporting actress Xiao Yuqing is talented and scheming, but she is never as gentle and lucky as the original heroine Yan Ran's smile. Marriage was supposed to be an alliance, but she couldn't confront her husband gently, but was haunted by calculations, and finally withered alone. The realistic Xiao Yuqing looked at the bleak fate of the heroine in the dream, feeling strong grief and powerlessness, but she faintly understood, this dream may be the self-redemption of her soul. Chapter 3, The 6-Year Covenant and the Inheritance of Style. In the dream for 6 years, the style of the supporting actress Xiao Yuqing was imitated by the original heroine, thus opening the door to success. The original heroine, named Gu Wanrong, is gentle and understands people's hearts, from imitation to innovation, and has become a popular business lady and fashion idol. In the dream, the failure of the supporting actress contrasts Gu Wanrong's success and fame, forming a stark contrast. Chapter 4, The Reversal of Dreams in the Realm. But the dream gradually changed subtly. The female supporting actress Xiao Yuqing is no longer a passive victim in her dreams. She began to learn to fight back, using her deep business vision to secretly accumulate strength. She uses wisdom and foresight to pry the gears of fate step by step, and is no longer at the mercy of others. Gu Wanrong's aura also seemed to begin to shake, and the fate line between the two became more and more complicated. Chapter 5, When I Wake Up. 6 years later, Xiao Yuqing in reality finally woke up. With the experience and understanding of 6 years in her dream, she re-examines her life. Although the dream self is a loser, he has found a way forward in the dark, and the success of the original heroine is also a mirror, reflecting her own shortcomings and growth space. In reality, she decided to regain her life and redefine herself. Chapter 6, Rebirth and Breakthrough. Xiao Yuqing reappeared in the public eye. This time she chose to be herself, no longer an idol under the halo, but a woman with both wisdom and tenacity. She began to participate in public welfare, invest in entrepreneurship, and have a frank dialogue with her former husband to repair the relationship that had been estranged by misunderstandings. She understands that true love and success do not lie in imitation or calculation, but in honesty and persistence. Chapter 7 Awakening Flowers Bloom. Time passed, and Xiao Yuqing's story was widely reported by the media and became a model of rebirth in adversity. She and her husband have worked together to create miracles in both business and life, and they have become each other's strongest support. And the story in that dream has also become her precious memory and source of strength. Life is like a dream, and when you wake up, the flowers are still brilliant. Chapter 8, Counterattack in a Dream. Xiao Yuqing finally woke up after 6 years of failure and pain accumulated in his dreams. She is no longer a pawn at the mercy of others, but a master determined to change her fate. She began to secretly lay out behind the business marriage, using her keen insight and understanding of human nature to gradually dismantle the forces that had long planned to trample her underfoot. What surprised her the most was that Gu Wanrong in her dream, the originally glamorous heroine, began to feel the pressure of competition, and behind her smile, there was also anxiety and uneasiness. This dream is no longer just a simple tragic contrast, but a contest of wisdom and scheming. Chapter 9, allies in the dark. In the process of counterattacking, Xiao Yuqing met the business figure who was also suppressed in his dream, De Ningxian, an entrepreneur with a cold appearance and a fiery heart. De Ningxian admired Xiao Yuqing's wisdom and tenacity and decided to become her strongest ally. The two combined resources and power, and gradually made waves in the business world, so that those who originally looked down on her began to change. The pattern of dreams has taken a surprising turn with this collaboration. Chapter 10, Gu Wanrong's Choice. Gu Wanrong sensed Xiao Yuqing's rise and felt an unprecedented crisis. She began to reflect on her past imitation and false aura, and gradually understood that true success cannot be built on the shadow of the failures of others. She faces a crossroads in her life, to continue to maintain the illusion of flamboyance, or to bravely find her true self. This choice will determine the fate of the two in the future. Chapter 11, The Call of Reality. Just as the dream was gradually reaching its climax, Xiao Yuqing in reality also began to undergo subtle changes. Although her body was still recovering, the fragments of the dream in her mind gradually became clear, and she began to recall the wisdom and strength of the dream. The moment she wakes up, she will use the wisdom and courage she learned in her dreams to meet the challenges of real life. Chapter 12, The Intersection of Dreams and Awakenings. After Xiao Yuqing was discharged from the hospital, he faced the tests of real life. The fame, affection, and trust of the past are as full of pitfalls and misunderstandings as in a dream. But she is no longer cowardly, but as in her dreams, calmly and resolutely dismantling the predicament step by step. She reconnected with her husband, broke down misunderstandings, and reconciled and cooperated with her former enemies. This real-life drama is as wonderful as in a dream. Chapter 13, A Bright Future. Xiao Yuqing and Gu Wanrong, two names, two stories, finally converged in reality and dreams. They have learned to let go of calculation and hypocrisy, and to find their own truth and freedom. Xiao Yuqing started anew and became a model of a woman who is both wise and caring. Life is not only a dream of sweet pets, but also a splendid flower after experiencing wind and rain. Chapter 14, Shattering and Reshaping. Xiao Yuqing went home from the hospital, but he was faced with a life that was once familiar but no longer familiar. The speculation of the media, the alienation of relatives and friends, and the silence of her husband have all become her new tests. She decided to let go of the shadows of her past and start to really know herself. Every morning, she looked at herself in the mirror with a determined gaze, and the face that was slightly pale from the car accident but still beautiful, like a sculpture that had survived the wind and frost but still stood upright. This time, she is no longer anyone's shadow, but wants to live as herself. Chapter 15, Former Enemies, Present Allies. Gu Wanrong was at a low point in her career at this time. The aura of the past faded, and she began to reflect on the imitation and falsehood of the past, and her heart was full of confusion and remorse. On a chance occasion, the two meet again, and mixed emotions fill the air. Xiao Yuqing faced it calmly, put aside the hostility of the past, and put forward a willingness to cooperate. Gu Wanrong was shocked, but also felt unprecedented relief, and the two decided to work together to create a new situation. Chapter 16, Rebirth and Challenges. After joining forces, Xiao Yuqing and Gu Wanrong led the team to overcome one problem after another. Xiao Yuqing's tenacity and insight, and Gu Wanrong's gentleness and creativity complement each other perfectly. They have made breakthroughs in both business and public welfare, and have won the respect and recognition of the society. However, there is still no shortage of challenges on the road to the new life, and former enemies and conspiracies are gradually resurfaced. Chapter 17, The Knot of the Heart and Salvation. The husband's misunderstanding of Xiao Yuqing still exists, and the relationship between the two has fallen to a freezing point. In a late-night conversation, Xiao Yuqing opened his heart and confessed the experience in the dream and the truth of his heart. The husband also took off his guard and told about his helplessness and guilt for many years. This conversation became the starting point for the two to rebuild their old friendship. Chapter 18, The Power of Waking Up. Xiao Yuqing turned the experience and wisdom of 6 years in his dream into a firm force in reality. She set up her own brand, advocating sincerity and self-acceptance, which quickly gained market recognition. Her story has been made into a documentary, inspiring countless people to face difficulties and live their true selves. The line between dreams and reality blurred, and she became the master of her own life. Chapter 19, The Interweaving of Glory and Ordinary. Xiao Yuqing, whose career has reached its peak, has not forgotten his original dream and original intention. She runs a charitable foundation to help people who have lost hope to get back on their feet. Together with her husband, she runs a simple but warm family life. She understands that the real glory is not fame and fortune, but inner peace and love. Chapter 20, The Ending. With the blessing of everyone, Xiao Yuqing and her husband entered the wedding hall again, this time for mutual understanding and growth. Gu Wanrong also found her own happiness, and the two became close friends who talked about everything. The dreams of the past, the pain of the past, have become their common nutrients, making people's lives more abundant. Life is like a dream, but the flowers that wake up are always the most beautiful. Postscript. It tells the journey from a dark nightmare to a light rebirth. Xiao Yuqing uses her story to tell us, failure is not terrible, what matters is whether we dare to face ourselves and bravely walk out of the haze. Dreams may be a test for the soul, but reality is a stage for growth. May everyone in distress find their own light and bloom the most gorgeous flowers of life.